what's in it for me? For the people that I work with, there are three things that I believe we can simplify it down to what's in it for them. And I think these are the three most important things, impactful things, and that's why I'm highlighting them. My name is Brian Pannuzzo. I'm an executive coach that helps successful professionals get wealthy outside of the office. I'm an expert at this because I did it myself. I sat inside of corporate America for 20 years, likely in a seat just like you do right now. If I can do it, so can you. Welcome back to the show. This is the Success Lift Podcast. I am your host, Brian. This is episode 252. It is so exciting to be back with you again this week. I am back at home in a rhythm, in a groove. I love traveling. I love being away. I love seeing my friends. I love getting away with my wife. But more than any of those things, I think I just love being in a routine. I love being at home. I'm a homebody. I like my stuff. I like being in my own rhythm. And when I say being in a rhythm, my life is crazy. I'm driving all over the place, going to baseball games, going to volleyball, going to dance, going to cheerleading, going to performances, working, talking to clients, connecting with my wife. I love a fully packed day. I really do. It's just nice to be home. It's nice to go to my own gym. It's nice to have my own food in my own fridge. It's nice to pack my cooler, throw it in my car for when I'm going to be in my car, driving around, being on baseball fields or whatever it may be. It's just a little bit easier to put your foot on the gas. And one mistake that I see a lot of people make that I'm really forceful with many of my clients is when it is time to put your foot on the gas, jam your foot on the gas and don't let up until you have to, because we give it away too often. We don't execute with as much intensity as we should when we can. And when you do those things, it allows you to relax a little bit. It allows you to not be able to, or not be forced to put your foot on the gas as much, or to be as compliant with the things you need to do. And so all that said, it's good to be home. It's good to be in a rhythm. And I'm looking forward to the next couple of weeks until I'm back out and moving again, starting with a new executive team. Going to go see them. Anytime I start with a team, I always get face-to-face. I get face-to-face with these people as much as possible throughout the program, but definitely in the beginning because it increases the connection. And all of my programs are delivered virtually. I'm going to talk a little bit about what I do today. All my programs are delivered virtually. I have full connection with you via phone, via an app that I have all my clients on, via a check-in process, via videos, via FaceTime, via Zoom, via text message, via audio calls. I am riding shotgun with you as your COO of your life for the period of time that we work together. And all of that is done virtually, but there is nothing quite like getting face-to-face with a client, getting a workout in, getting a walk in, having an honest conversation, grabbing coffee, grabbing dinner, having a little wine, having a scotch. I'm more of a whiskey guy. Have a cigar. Connection in your life is incredibly important, and I make sure I do that with everyone that I work with at some point. So excited to start traveling again in April, but for now we're back home. We're in the grindish. We're grooving. We're grinding. We're executing. We're putting our foot down, and we're getting real results in my life, and I hope you're doing the same for you. I appreciate everyone who has recently found the show. I've had some new people reach out to me telling me they just found the show. They're going back, they're listening to the old episodes, and that's amazing. And I so appreciate that. If you haven't told anybody about the show in a while, please, I would really appreciate it if you did. If you enjoyed the show, why don't you head on over to Apple Podcasts and rate it, leave a review, tell people about it, do whatever you got to do. Just let them know. If you haven't seen the YouTube version of the show yet, these are real biceps. Those are real books behind me. And if you would subscribe to the YouTube channel, it would mean a ton to me. We will be producing more YouTube content at some point. For now, it's mostly the podcast and some shorts, some of the highlights of the podcast via clips. But we'll be building out YouTube later on this year at some point. I don't know exactly when, so I just keep saying it at some point. But I will put myself on the hook and start producing more longer form content in the future. Right now, I am hyper focused on growing my business, working with the people that I do, and helping them create and effectuate change in their lives. And that's one of the things I wanted to talk about, or the thing I wanted to talk about today. Sometimes there is a misconception as to what it is I do with people. When I work for people, people say you're like a life coach, right? Or, you're like a trainer, you train people. And neither of those things are true. Probably more of a life coach than I am a trainer. I do not train anybody in person. I will train with my clients. I will work out with them whenever we're around or whenever we can get a workout in. But I am not a trainer. I am not a health coach. I am not a life coach. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a relationship coach. I guess I'm a little bit of all of those things. I start the podcast talking about I'm an executive coach. I work with executives. I work with high performers inside of corporate America, very, very busy professionals. I have a ton of financial professionals that I work with. I work with some doctors. I work with a couple lawyers. I work with a lot of business owners. I work with people inside of the C-suite of a lot of corporate America, Fortune 500, Fortune 100, Fortune 50 type of firms. I work with financial advisors. I work with traders. I work with research analysts. I work with portfolio managers, hedge fund managers, family office managers. I run the gamut when it comes to financial services. And I do a lot of the same things for a lot of people, and I do some very unique things for others. And if I had to really simplify it and really dumb it down, because ultimately you don't care about the X's and O's of delivery of not just my program, but any program. You don't care that I can see everything that you do on a daily basis inside of my app. You don't care that you get a Monday mindset message from me to start your week, start the tone, inspiration, motivation, education, every single Sunday and Monday for me. You don't care that there's an accountability process so that you're held accountable to the things that you say you're going to do. And I follow up with you and I text you all the time and I call you and we connect. You don't care about any of that stuff. You care about your results. You care about what do you get? What's in it for you? That's what everyone cares about in our lives. What's in it for me? And so for the people that I work with, there are three things that I believe we can simplify it down to what's in it for them. And I think these are the three most important things, impactful things, and that's why I'm highlighting them. The first thing that I feel like I do for the people that I work with is I simplify your life. And while that's a very general statement, allow me to go a little bit deeper and explain. Most of the time, your life is quite chaotic. Your schedule is everywhere. You are getting information from a number of different places. You have your Instagram, you have your TikTok, you watch the news, you've gotten your buddy at work, your coworker, your cousin, your wife tried something, your buddy who lost 30 pounds and then put 40 back on has done this and he swears by it. And you're inundated with a bunch of different information and you don't know it yet, but you don't know what you don't know and you actually don't know what to do in order to get the result that you say that you want. And so many people I have found waste a shit ton of time figuring it out, trialing and erroring it, and then ultimately at some point maybe coming to the conclusion that they don't exactly have it all figured out. And I spent 10 years or so optimizing a process. I'm now a little over 10 years into my own transformation, a little over 6 years into working with people one-on-one, and I now have thousands of reps, hundreds and hundreds on my own, hundreds and hundreds with other people, and I'm able to distill down the actions that really matter to change aspects of your life you really care about. And so simplifying aspects of your life People with money, here's what you need to understand. You pay for convenience, you pay for ease of use, you pay for speed, right? How many of us have had a car detail guy show up to the house and you pay him $50, $100, $150, whatever it is, to wash your car in the driveway, to detail your car? Well, why wouldn't we take it to the car wash and pay like 25 or 40 for that same job? Like, well, because I got to get in my car and I got to sit in a line at the car wash and I got to take an hour and a half of my time. And I value my time, and my time on an hourly rate is way above $100 or $150. And so this concept of buying back your time, which is a great book, by the way, by Dan Martell, a new friend of mine who I spent some time with in Hawaii recently. You should see this guy's life. Everything is optimized for him to do only the things that he is a genius at. You can't email Dan. Dan doesn't have an email. It goes to his assistant. His assistant filters all emails. His assistant filters everything. They have a meeting every morning where they get together and she brings him the information that he needs, that she might need help with, and then he goes and operates his day. She handles all of his scheduling, his calendar, his emails, his business, things like that. Dan gets to do what Dan is magically and uniquely created to do. And that's what you should be doing more of, and so should I. It was an interesting couple of days to just watch someone like that who's running $100+ million business a year at a really high level, because he doesn't touch a lot of the silly things that I touch. He hasn't folded a towel in his house in years. He didn't even pack for his trip to Hawaii. His house manager packed his bag. He just woke up the morning they left and grabbed his bag. Now, you might think that's kind of ridiculous. And how would the person know what to pack? Well, because he has a process for it. The point is to have a process in your life for things. The point is to pay for tasks that are below your hourly earnings rate. And so I'm real good at grocery shopping and meal prep. I probably shouldn't be doing those because they're both way below my hourly rate that I charge people. We'll start to think about some of these aspects of like, how do we simplify things and only do the things that you're supposed to be doing? And so that's what I help you do. I help you simplify your life. Stop doing these 17 things inside of your nutrition. Focus on these 2, right? Stop running around from machine to machine at the gym, trying to get a cardio workout in while you lift weights, and just lift weights. All right. Just focus on lifting weights because you're going to get better results. How many times have you seen the same people? Maybe you're one of them. Show up to the gym for 2 straight years and they look fucking the same. Like how insane is that? To spend an hour of your day, 4, 5, 6 days a week, going to the gym, busting your ass and looking the same. That sounds crazy to me. Yet most of the gym population looks that way. And so we simplify your life week by week by asking you to narrow down the focus of the things that you believe are going to move the needle. Of course, you will get feedback from me. Of course, I will help you filter that, but it's ultimately your life. And so on week 5 of your program with me, it's not like we do these things on week 5. We figure out what the right thing for you to do on week 5 is. Now, is there a staircase? Is there a ladder that we climb the entire way? Of course there is. But I need you to get into your life and to figure out what you need, and I help you simplify that by giving you some of the turn-by-turn directions so you don't have to think. You just have to show up and be you, because you are unique, you are amazing, and all you need to do is show up and be you on a daily basis. That's the first thing I help people do. The second thing I do for people is not something that you even have to do. I do it for you. I lead by example. And why I bring this up is because I don't know of anyone else who lives the life that they are asking their clients to live any better than I do. And I realize that that might sound like a D-bag thing to say. And I really struggled saying those words probably as soon as, 6 months ago. I thought it was a very conceited thing to say. Here's the deal. I have too much evidence to suggest that I'm right. And all you got to do is watch me. You don't even need to listen to me if you're inside of my network. You just have to watch what I do. The people that I work with get access to seeing much of what I do on a daily and a weekly basis. I take tremendous pride in living the life that I ask others to live. And so I am joking, but I'm not. Good luck trying to keep up with me inside of my program. I would highly advise you to do your own thing. I would love to see you come for the title, but you're not getting it. And you're not getting it for very long, even if you do snatch it away from me for a week or so, because the consistency that I show up with day after day, week after week, month after month, year after year is unmatched. And that's just a fact. I would highly encourage you, whatever it is you're looking for, to find people that are already doing the thing that you desire. I've said this many times recently. Find people whose standard, what they are willing to accept of themselves, like at a minimum, is your goal. When you do that, goals will become very easy for you to achieve. You can't hang out with a bunch of 100 millionaires. Is that what they even call them? I don't even know. I'm not one yet, so I don't even know what it's called, but I got to figure it out. You can't hang out with people who have hundreds of millions of dollars and not be influenced to go make more money. You cannot hang out with people who are 10% body fat, jacked and lean, and care about the way they look and feel on a daily basis and not be influenced to live a healthier life. You can't hang around people who have epic marriages, who are highly connected, and not want to at least take your marriage to the next level. You will be influenced by the people that you spend time with. And therefore, I know this, so I lead by example. I will never hire a fat health coach. I'll never hire a broke business coach. I will never hire a divorced marriage coach, relationship coach. Are there people who may be qualified? Maybe. I don't know. And if you got divorced and you got remarried, yeah, that probably is okay. But if you're not living the life that I want to live, what do you have to offer me? I don't really understand. I don't get it. I don't get people who go seek out a business coach that hasn't built a massive business. If you've just built a business telling other people how to build a business, like that doesn't count, right? So like build a business, build something, then go help people do it. And if you're looking for help, go find those people, right? The good news is that there's a lot of people that are like me. Are they as good? I don't think so, but I'm biased, right? I'm biased and I'm confident and I have evidence to support that I am who I say that I am, and which is the evolution that you'll go through in your life. When you get mentally and physically into elite shape, watch what happens inside in your business. Watch what happens inside the office. If you ever want to make more money, go get fit. I promise you. Just do it. You can go back to being fat. You won't, but you can. Right? So I lead by example. I show up every single day. Right? I track what I do. I get my workouts in. I connect with my wife. I raise my hand when I'm making mistakes. I screw things up all the time. But I lead by example. The last thing, in a simplified way, that I do for clients that I think is really valuable is I provide accountability. So many people that I speak to say they just wish they could hold themselves accountable. Accountability is really hard when it comes to self. And so I can't quite figure it out because I don't know why people are not more motivated, because I do feel like I am a highly motivated person, but I also understand that sometimes if I have to answer to somebody, I am going to be more willing to do the thing that I have promised myself that I'm going to do. I've said this before. If I have to get up and go to the gym early and I know I'm being picked up or I'm meeting someone at the gym and my alarm goes off and I want to hit snooze, there's no fucking chance that I'm hitting snooze if someone's going to be sitting outside my house ready to pick me up or waiting for me at the gym. There is a small chance that I could hit snooze if no one's waiting for me. I don't have to answer to anybody. If I have to put myself on the hook and do something that I said that I was going to do, I 100% will do it if somebody else is involved, because I will not let that person down. I will let myself down before I let that other person down. And that's the amazing part of accountability, it's a little confusing to me sometimes, but the amazing part that we can harness that power and we can use it to our own advantage. Because if you're not going to let me down, then I'm going to hold you to a standard because I'm going to tell you that you let me down when you did. And so accountability is your personal insurance policy on your own success in your mental, physical, relational performance, and also inside your business. If you want to take any of those areas to the next level, make a promise to somebody you care about that you do not want to deeply disappoint, and then ask them to follow up with you. And I promise you, you just have to watch your own behavior. You don't even have to wait for them to follow up. It'll guaranteed improve. Let me review. The first thing I do for clients is I simplify their life. I take all the noise and I help you distill it down to what it is you're supposed to be doing based on your destination in the GPS. What are your turn-by-turn directions? Not mine. You shouldn't be doing everything that I do. While I am an amazing example, I have my own specific goals. You shouldn't be eating the same things that I eat. Maybe you shouldn't be training the same ways that I train. Maybe the focus in your life should be in one domain while the focus of mine primarily is another temporarily. We have to simplify what's going to get you the best result in the least amount of time, the most efficiently, with the most balance in your life. Number 2, I lead by example. I take pride in living the life that I expect you to live. I don't think anybody else does it better than me. That's my personal opinion. The third thing I do is I provide accountability. You're going to let yourself down before you let somebody else down. When you write a check, your commitment grows. When you pay attention. This has worked in every area of my life. This has worked every time I've decided to spend some money on a program. Every single time it has my attention. And so while accountability is free, and if you can't afford it, go get it for free. Or if you're too fucking cheap to buy it, go get it for free. I promise you, your compliance and your performance will dramatically skyrocket when you pay for it. But if you don't want to pay for it, I don't give a shit. Don't pay for it. You're not going to get as good results, but don't pay for it. Right? Just go ask somebody for help. Get accountability in your life. Consistent accountability, not like one time, like, hey, I'm going to do this thing. It needs to be consistent. There needs to be a feedback loop. There needs to be a structured process with it. You need to be hearing from this person. In my executive coaching program right now, inside of corporate America, we are teaming up and getting in-person accountability buddies in the office because there's something about walking past the same office 6 times a day and seeing that person and knowing that you're accountable to them and knowing they're going to ask you to bring them up to speed on the thing that you told them. And if you go, I didn't do it, you look and feel, quite frankly, like a loser. And nobody likes being that. And nobody likes feeling that way. Simplify things, lead by example, provide accountability. If you can get those 3 things in your life, you can find a program that has those components, you're going to do really well. I happen to know somebody who does. If I can help you in any way, you know where to find me. Reach out at brian@thesuccesslift.com. You can DM me on Instagram, LinkedIn. If you have my cell phone number, shoot me a text. I appreciate you all. See you back here next week. Talk to you soon.